Very soon, the National Guard will start rolling into Ferguson, Missouri. Early this morning, Governor Jay Nixon called in reinforcements to restore peace and stability in that volatile St. Louis suburb. This after another night of violent protests.
Molotov cocktails were thrown. There were shootings, looting, vandalism, and other acts of violence that clearly appear not to have been spontaneous or premeditated criminal acts.
3 hours before midnight curfew, police in riot gear used tear gas and rubber bullets to clear unruly protesters off the streets. The mayhem began when angry demonstrators moved toward a police command center and refused to stop. The turmoil has dragged on for more than a week now following that fatal shooting of an unarmed black teenager by a white police officer. Now, an autopsy shows that 18-year-old Michael Brown was shot at least 6 times, including twice in the head. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder says the Justice Department plans its own autopsy because of, quote, the extraordinary circumstances involved in this case, and also at the request of the Brown family. Meantime, Texas Governor Rick Perry is stepping up his fight against that indictment. We've heard so much about those 2 felony charges as well. In that indictment, it alleges abuse of power. Perry abused his power, according to the indictment, by vetoing a $7.5 million state funding for a public integrity agency run by Travis County District Attorney Rosemary Lemberg. The veto came after she pleaded guilty to a 2013 drunken driving charge and did not resign. Perry told Fox News Sunday that he would make that same decision again. He added the indictment is a farce. It's also politically motivated.
This is not the way that we settle differences, political differences in this country. You don't do it with indictments. We settle our political differences at the ballot box.
Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz told Newsmax he's, quote, outraged over the Texas governor's indictment. Quote, everybody, liberal or conservative, should stand against this indictment. If you don't like how Rick Perry uses his office, don't vote for him. Joining us later today on Newsmax TV, Alan Dershowitz, a liberal, will explain why he feels so strongly about this indictment, one he says several other Democrats have also criticized. Also new today, Iraqi security and Kurdish forces, with the help of U.S.-led airstrikes, seized back control of part of the country's largest dam from ISIS militants. This is the first major victory for Iraqi and Kurdish Peshmerga fighters since U.S. airstrikes began earlier this month. But in order to sustain that progress, Kurdish Peshmerga forces say they need more military supplies. They have been considered reliable allies of the United States since fighting began back in 2003. Right now, they're waiting for 15 Iraqi military Humvees with bomb disposal units. And from war to prayers for peace, today Pope Francis is wrapping up his first trip to Asia. He told Koreans to find new ways to create peace in the war-divided peninsula. This is the final event of a 5-day trip that confirmed the importance of Asia for his papacy and the Catholic Church. The Pope spoke directly to China from the altar, saying he wants to increase dialogue with that nation.